Andrew has requested me on Patreon to review the action movie Eraser, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger. This is very much in line with his usual action movies of the era, with him participating in big explosive set pieces and occasionally dishing out a one-liner as he takes down various baddies. So what do I think of this entry in the Schwarzenegger canon? While reasonably entertaining, I don't think there's anything about it that particularly stands out. The premise mainly involves Schwarzenegger trying to protect a member of the Witness Protection Program being targeted by a weapons manufacturer. That's the basic and incredibly simple plot that the movie then hangs its various action sequences on. And there's nothing necessarily wrong with having a simple plot, but I did not find myself caring that much about the central story, what the villains were up to, and why the main protagonist needed to escape their clutches. Nothing about Schwarzenegger's character, John Kruger, stood out to me among the other people that he's played in these kinds of movies. He's the tough, muscular man who takes his job incredibly seriously and is the best of the best, and that's about all the description they give you. Although I do like that, despite the nature of the job, he does seem to care about the people he puts into witness protection and hopes they can live a life where they won't be targeted. Vanessa Williams plays the female lead, Lee Cullen, and she does okay in the role, even though most of her screen time is spent largely following Kruger around as he takes her from one spot to the next, and there's nothing particularly interesting about her. Although I appreciate the movie avoids giving them a romance. Another film might have given them banter where they are portrayed as initially hating each other before eventually getting romantically attached, but Eraser does not go that route, although Schwarzenegger's action movies rarely went for that kind of romantic storyline. Funnily enough, I don't think the people who wrote Vanessa Williams' end credit song got the memo. While I know these sorts of ballads are common in 90s action movies, Where Do We Go From Here feels like it will be more suited to romantic comedy than something like this. It's especially funny watching the official music video for the song, which splices in out-of-context clips of the action sequences, as well as trying to find scenes of Schwarzenegger and Williams smiling at each other. Meanwhile, the villains are nothing to write home about, as they mostly give chase after the leads. There's also a twist villain, although it's obvious who it's going to be, and it does not even take too long into the movie before he's revealed. One aspect I did really like about the characters in the movie is the friendship that develops between Kruger and one of his other protected witnesses, a former gangster played by Robert Pastorelli. They have a fun dynamic, which provides some of the best character interactions in Eraser. Like I said before, the action does help make the film somewhat engaging. The standout sequence is one where Kruger makes an escape off an airplane. It has the needed level of excitement and is nicely put together by the visual effects team. The others mostly involve a lot of shooting by a bunch of anonymous goons, and Schwarzenegger doing his usual thing of showing off his muscles and weightlifting. And at a certain point, you need to offer more in your action sequences than just constant guns a-blazing, unless you're really creative with the choreography. The thing I find most fascinating about Eraser is it was directed by Chuck Russell. He is most well known for directing A Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors, the remake of The Blob, and his most popular movie, The Mask. These films showcase a lot of imaginative and wild imagery and a very specific and creative vision for the worlds depicted and the magical abilities exhibited by Freddy Krueger, the gelatinous blob, and anyone who wore the mask of Loki. However, Eraser has very little of the trademarks associated with Russell's first three movies and is directed like any action movie of the time. The closest it comes to his expected brand of craziness is when Kruger and Lee are in the New York City Zoo and have to deal with some crocodiles who've been let loose. It's a bonkers scene, and while yes, the crocodiles might not look as impressive as they likely did in 1996, you can still tell the visual effects team worked hard to give their scales the needed texture. Curiously, this also seemed to mark a turning point in Russell's career, as he mostly directed action movies from then on, although it's possible his career might have gone in a different direction had Jim Carrey said yes to making The Mask 2. He did recently reveal that following The Scorpion King, he tried to get a few personal passion projects off the ground, which he described as epic films, but they ended up in development hell and were never able to get the green light. Back to Eraser, I think it offered its fair share of blockbuster entertainment at times, and Arnold Schwarzenegger brings some of the persona he's known for in these kinds of movies. There's just little about the story and characters that makes it all that special. Now, if you've seen the movie, let me know your thoughts in the comments, and thank you for the request, Andrew.